What you build in the dark is the only thing that never ends.
I moves through the world like a shadow with a I look faster than Cashmere, every dollar with a pedigree of sacrifice to hollowed architecture. Grew from sleepless winners, every lecture delivered on the corner. Midnight rector of the street theology. The sector where I master the geometry, protector of the blood learn. Every vector calculated, decorated, every specter of my past inspected and corrected. I perfected the art of being unexpected while remaining consistent. Do respect it. Name that goes past the block, connected to a legacy no system ever redirected.
So feel your stone,
orchestrated like a dark sonata, playing in the background of the concrete strata, where ambition meets the pavement. Or murder, pressed into the handshake, the iota of betrayal met with silence. The quota of my loyalty unmeasured. Every note, John in the ledger, written in the motor. Oil of discipline, the voter on my conscience always chose the slower road to permanence. The grower of a dynasty outlasting every system built to bury. Every February of a Brooklyn winter taught me how to carry. Weight that would have broken the ordinary.
silk and stone. What you build alone, the cold holds long after you're gone.
The opposition running clean cause the foundation built on principles, not personalities. The nation of one block extended in the constellation of alliances. The patient cultivation was spent firm slow. No abbreviation of the process. Every demonstration of my character, a deliberate station on the map of who I chose to be. Creation of self from raw material, the patience of a craftsman. No imitation of the legends. Studied every notation of their methods. Built my own translation into something permanent. Foundation laid in silence, sealed in dedication. They offered me the shortcut in the glitter. I declined, I am the transmitter of a signal older than the bitter. Politics of envy. Every fitter who came before me left a letter. In the architecture, I read better. I study in the rises. Every setter of the standard understood that leather is more valuable with weather. Iron season, light as a feather is a lie. They told the heavy, I am heavy. I am ready. The silk road in the cold and steady. Hand that bloated. Testament already. Written in the concrete holding. This is Brooklyn. This is solid.
The cold hold and silk.
The protocol is not optional. It is the difference between operational and historical. The men who treated it as suggestion are in the historical category. You do not speak on what you haven't verified. You do not move on what you haven't mapped. You do not extend what you cannot retract. You do not trust what you cannot test. You do not confuse comfort with safety. You do not confuse silence with absence. You do not confuse loyalty with longevity. These are not philosophies. These are observable patterns available for inspection. In every operation that failed, inspect them, apply the lessons. The protocol saves lives, non-compliance ends them. Choose accordingly. He spoke too much in the wrong room to the wrong person about the right information. That specific combination produced an irreversible outcome. He knew the protocol, all three variables. He chose the room anyway. That choice has a name. The name is not mistake. Mistakes are structural. This was a decision. Decisions have permanent prices. He is still paying. He will always be paying. The protocol does not offer payment plans. Full price, permanent, no appeals. The digital age age accelerated. The consequence of breaking the protocol. Everything is documented, everything waking. Moment archived. The overtaking of the physical by the digital is the partaking of permanence. For every move you're making, the comfortable moment is the undertaking of your own destruction. The mistaking of silence for invisibility is the forsaking of the protocol. Move like Mercury, temperature of the room, adapting accurately. Never gas, never solid mercury, naturally.
I will say this once. 3 operations fell in 18 months. Same cause every time, not enforcement, not competition, conversation, a comfortable moment. A thing said that couldn't be unsaid to a person who couldn't be untrusted. That's a whole autopsy every single time. In the comfortable moment, be Mercury, room temperature, always reading, always adapting. Never comfortable enough to forget what comfortable cause. That is the protocol. That is all of it. Go!
Yeah. In the architecture of the oath I took, the nook of discipline between the look of ambition and the rook position of the actual I shook. Nothing that was built correctly, the brook I've done, I stepped across, forsook. The comfortable mistook. Nothing for the finish line I overlooked. Nothing. The evergreen routine between the lean and the harvest I convene with the mirror every morning. The serene precision of the standard, the machine of the interior. I was 17 and I knew one thing. The oath is the only thing that outlasts everything else. The architect designs not what exists, but what the material is capable of becoming under the correct conditions of sustained pressure. I am the architect and the material simultaneously, designing under the load of my own standards. The shape that emerges when the man refuses the dimensions assigned to him by the accidents of his origin. The blueprint is not inherited, it is drawn every time from the material available. No substitutions accepted. What does the oath cost? Everything you thought you needed before you understood need. What does it pay? Everything that actually matters, shorter list than advertised. Who does it serve? Everyone who comes after you, who never has to start exactly where you started. What if it breaks? You recommend the oath is a practice, got a contract. What if no one recognizes it? It compounds anyway. The interest doesn't require an audience. What if the price is too high? You already paid it, you've been paying it, you're still in. What does that mean? It means the price was exactly right. Build a brick by brick and never quit the grit is the premise and the profit of the commitment. Every setback is a setup for the summit of the next descent. The element of permanence is repetition. The embellishment comes after. Establish the foundation, nourish the vision through the punishment of the process. Build until the thing you built needs no defense of its existence. The oath is this: show up, do the work correctly. Do it again tomorrow. Do not cut corners when no one watches. Especially then. Build something that doesn't need you to explain it. Leave it better. That is your entire oath. 17 words. I've been executed it for 30 years. I will execute it tomorrow. That is all. Our skill is visit restaurant, Sicily Center. The cracked vinyl on the second booth from the door. The orange candle in the Chianti bottle. Mama Rosa never replaced. Just trim a new wax over 30 years of previous last suppers. The exact weight on the bread basket. Marcus passed without looking. The way Dante cut his meat. Focus, like eating was a problem. We try in a specific solution. The condensation ring from my glass. I kept moving my arm to avoid, then stopped avoiding. These are the things I remember with the precision I did not earn by paying attention. I earned by losing what surrounded them. Memory is just grief. Who better file it? I'm not gonna dress this up. Marcus is gone, not gone with a door open, gone. Gone in the way that means I will never sit across from a man who knew every embarrassing true thing about me and use none of it. You can't rebuild that. You built new things, good things. things, but you cannot manufacture the specific weight of being known by someone who chose you daily. For 20 years of full knowledge, that weight is not transferable. The memory of it is not the weight. Don't let anyone tell you it is. Anyone who says that has never lost the weight. We were brothers, others smothered in the cold. Shoulder holder, boulder on every road. Dakota, boulder, soldier who never sold the pistol for convenience. Every folder of memory has a shoulder and a frame. My voice that named the thing before I had the language for it. A man who showed up when showing up cost something real that costs now lives in his space. While he was standing, I stand in it. Every day I stand in it. I still go to Mama Rosa's and sit in the booth with the crack vinyl and order the fish I never used to order, and move my arm from the condescension ring, then stop moving it and pass the bread basket without looking and eat the way Dante ate. Focus, decisive, and I leave the tip markets always left, which was always too much by the math of a man raised with too little, who understood instinctively hit the distance between enough and generous is the only arithmetic worth practicing. In the world that keeps teaching you scarcity every chance it gets. I stand in it. I stand in it. Yeah. The statute of the street has no appeals, no habeas corpus for the principle. The iron code runs simple. You deliver what you promise, or the promise delivers you. I've watched men negotiate with consequences as though consequences attended the same negotiation table. They don't. Consequences have a separate office with a separate agenda and an unlimited budget, and they keep every appointment. You try to cancel, you cannot cancel a consequence. You can only decide how long you make it wait before you answer the door. The iron statute of the criminal habitual is the contractual, perpetual obligation of the conceptual code made actual in the effectual delivery of the intellectual property of your word. The perpetual motion of the operation is the eventual result of the habitual individual choice to hold the standard. The residual of dishonor is the individual carrying the weight of the habitual reputation. Choose your residual word. Word is bond and the bond is iron, and the iron don't negotiate. The operation runs on the articulate delivery of the obligation. The legitimate and the legitimate share the identical requirement. Your word is the reciprocal of everything you built. Your pinnacle falls if the foundation is the cynical convenience of a promise made for tactical advantage. I have seen the radical collapse of operations, pharmaceutical and otherwise, when the habitual dishonor corroded the actual infrastructure. Word is bond. The iron statute stands permanent beyond whatever you intended. Let me put this plainly, because I'm tired of the decorated version. A man's word is the only real currency that cannot be inflated, counterfeited, or seized by any institution. I have watched men with money and no word lose everything in a single season. I have watched men with word and no money build empires in a decade. The statute is simple. Say what you mean what you say. Deliver or don't commit. If you can't deliver, say that. If you won't deliver, don't say anything. The third option, commit and don't deliver. The option has a cost, the compound for life. I've watched men pay it. I have never paid it. I intend to die, haven't ever paid it. That is the iron statute. That is all of it. All of it. All of it. There is a version that this man, the one who came home every night, was scheduled, who remembered the deck without a reminder, who stopped at the flower shop between the job and the door. That version never existed, and she knew it before I did, and she chose me anyway. The actual version, the one still under construction at 38, the one who shows up without the flowers, but always shows up. That's the version she chose.
I am still trying to be worth that choice. A sable coat and gunmetal eyes. He never learned to say it.
But every time he came home,
I knew.
I came in late 9 months running.
She never asked.
I left before sunrise 300 times.
She never complained.
I told her I was handling it without explaining what it was. She nodded like a woman who had made a long-term investment in the complicated asset and understood that volatile doesn't mean worthless. It means pay attention, and she paid attention. More than I paid attention to myself.
But asymmetry is the love story.
All of it right there. She is the permanence in my provisional, the substance in the transitional, the structural and emotional, the rational and the irrational, the unconditional and the conditional, the confessional I never volunteered for. That made me better than the one I was before she asked the question I couldn't answer for 6 months and then could.
The question was,
what are you afraid of?
The answer was this.
This exact thing, being known completely. She waited 6 months for that answer. I have been paying that debt with every honest thing I've said since. Still paying, I was still grateful for the debt. Here is the truth in plain language. I am difficult, I was worse before.
She chose difficult.
Not from absence of options, from the calculation of what this particular difficult was building toward.
She was right.
It built toward this, whatever this is.
This is the best room I've been in.
She knew the floor plan before I did.
She helped me find it myself.
That's love in the only dialect that matters.
I knew. Johnny rode the cold wind. Never looked behind.
Carried every sin he made.
Like a cross on his mind.
Johnny was a sinner when the splinter of the frontier. Grinner when the danger came, no fear. The engineer of his own destruction and his own career of outlawing, brawling, crawling through the atmosphere of 1889, where the law was thin and shit. It's paper. Johnny shaped the vapor into spear and shield simultaneously. The pioneer of calculated violence, crystal clear in purpose. Every surface of his character severe as winter. The splinter of a conscience in the back of his ambition. The dominance of Johnny Cold was built on common sense and uncommon nerve. The immense reserve of cold that God put in his chest. See, Johnny wasn't born with ice, he earned it. Every scar a lesson that he learned it. Carried like a medal, every burning bridge behind him turned to the concerning truth that some men only find their purpose at the barrel of a consequence. The surface of his face red calm beneath the furnace of a childhood nobody chose. The circus of a father's rage, the worthless wage of sharecrop fields. The purchase of his freedom cost him everything. He rode north with nothing but the sting of determination. Let it ring across the territories, let it sing.
Johnny, oh Johnny Cold.
Some men are born outside the fold.
The gun was never what he chose.
Just the only door
that stayed unlocked.
By 23 he had a bounty and a reputation, built on 7 counties worth of confrontation. Every lawman in the territory patient for the day that Johnny slipped the ancient art of waiting. Johnny knew the calculation better than them all. His navigation through the wanted posters in the station houses, pure improvisation. Robbed the rail line not for gold but for the statement that a man born into nothing claims payment from a world that never offered him a basement, let alone a floor. The displacement of the poor was always Johnny's case. Every dollar taken was a replacement for the dignity they stole. No hesitation. They caught him on a Tuesday in the rain, the kind of rain that washes out the stain of everything. He stood without complaint or theater. Johnny never felt the vein. Requirement of performance, just the plain acknowledgement of consequence to change. They put on him, he wore like a campaign medal, unbothered. becomes. When every system fails him, the drums adjust this beat for those with income. Johnny had none, so Johnny had overcome the rules that never covered him. The sum of his life was simple.
Kingdom come. He never asked for mercy,
Never asked for much.
just a world that saw him
Human.
to the touch.
The arithmetic of survival ain't taught in classrooms. It's calculated in basements. The back rooms are consequence. The blast of the cash looms over every decision. The fast dooms, the impatient. The patient man exhumes the treasure from the patients. The perfume of discipline is money. Every boardroom I enter smelling like the streets assumed I couldn't. Wrong. I turned the dark tomb of circumstance into a showroom. See, the ledger of a life don't balance easy. The columns run with blood and make you queasy. If you study them too long, the breezy surface of success conceals the greasy machinery beneath the sleazy compromise you made when times were freezy and the rent was due. The easy road was paved for what you didn't keep. I kept everything that mattered sleep on that. The arithmetic runs deep. Every penny earned was a lesson burned into the turn of every season. Every reason that I learned to discern the genuine from the counterfeit, the stern accounting of my conscience wouldn't adjourn the session till the numbers match. Concern for accuracy is not a trait. They teaching the internship of the street. You learn it or you crash and burn. Every dollar got a history, every turn got a geometry. I studied every earn and every loss with equal discipline. Return on investment of the self is what I yearn to maximize the enterprise of just being stern. Enough to finish what you started. The connect, respect the calculation over flash. The man who counted twice before he made the dash. From circumstance to consequence, stash a wisdom older than the cash. I move with every eyelash, twitching of the block. I read like rash and smooth terrain alike. The brash, you buried with the impatient. The clash of ambition and reality is ash unless you bring arithmetic to the crash. I wanna tell you something real. The man who never learned to feel the weight of what his choices cost will spend his whole life getting lost between the profit and the toll. The arithmetic of the soul. It's simple. What you take must equal what you give a break. The whole equation. I wait each morning and I calculate.
The Ivory Ledger,
Owes every name.
the ones who built, and the ones the building called.
The criminal architectural magic class, a lateral mechanical unsurpassed. Execution and contractual sabbatical of patience, the fanatical statistical. Accountant of the man who ran the practical mathematical topical analysis of every option and canonical approach to the reciprocal economy of loyalty, the diabolical precision of the oath. We hear the acoustical percussion of the syllables, the nautical navigation of the pocket, the compound phrases, the racket. Every bar loaded bracket, every bomb a compound jacket, wrapped around a truth so dense. The casual listener loses scent. The technical listener finds the rent. In the fabric follows the thread, understands every word I said was weight bearing, not decoration. This is load bearing wordplay. Every syllable structural.
The Ivory Ledger sat on the of mahogany, the specific mahogany of the third floor office on Atlantic. The one with the Venetian blinds that cut the afternoon into horizontal intelligence.
The mink wait silence of the room where the Cashmere handshake lived, where the black label courtesy was poured in the crystal that knew the difference between celebration and transaction. The Zanati on the oak floor, the weight of the Brioni on the chair, these are not accessories. These are the hyper-specific nouns of power operating correctly. Every detail a deliberate signal to the room that the man who assembled these details understood precision in every register of the life he chose.
The Ivory Ledger holds every name, what you earn in the cold
Stays warm in the flame. The weight of what was built without the blueprint matching what arrived. The silt of every widow that survived. The hilt of the ambition and the tilt of the actual to guilt. A reputation built from the spill. Blood of the principle. I dealt in the felt certainty of the oath, the spelt. Economy of the man who never dealt and what he couldn't stand behind. The displaced solidifies the pocket without looking. The breath between the booking and delivery is where the craft lands. In the air between the bars. In the space that amateur ignores. In the silence between the floors of the architecture. That silence is the lecture. That silence is the sector where the permanent is built.
The Ivory Ledger holds every name. The Ivory Ledger, the Ivory Ledger holds the aim.
The ledger does not lie, it does not editorialize. It records what was delivered, it records what was promised. The gap between those two columns is the only biography that counts. Mine has no depth. That is not a boast. That is an account. Every entry in the ledger earned and every turning of the page a testament to every burning. When the survived, yearning irrelevant to the returning of what was owed. The discerning reader of the ledger confirming every column matched every learning. Curve accounted for the concerning. Question answered, no adjourning the session till the numbers reconcile. The ledger closes, the file is permanent. The aisle of the principle, the aisle of the record complete.
The Ivory Ledger balanced, close, coming in. The ones who built and the ones the building cost. The ledger owes them equally.
Yeah. Who runs this? I run this. Who built this? I built this. Who stayed when everyone calculated the odds and walked? I stayed. Who turned the deficit into the dividend when the institution wrote us off as a bad investment? I did. Not with inherited capital, not with a network pre-assembled with the arithmetic was showing up to the same problem every morning until the problem stopped being bigger than my patience. That's the resume. No addendum needed. The inner sanctum of the operation runs on the discipline of the ones who understand that power stuns. The underprepared, the guns of ambition without ethics are the sons that burn the orchard. Everyone who built on fear alone has none of what they built when fear is done. Producing, see the permanence of what we built has the adherence to the principle of clearance. Every entry earns appearance in the architecture. The coherence of the code is the perseverance of those who held it under pressure. The underboss holds the pressure. That is the job description.
The operation runs on a silence, not on spectacle. The power is the invisible, the clinical approach to every obstacle. The pinnacle of authority is the reciprocal of noise. Silence is the miracle. Terrifies the theatrical. I don't announce arrival, the satirical. Read of men who do is categorical. Evidence of insecurity, the liturgical. Adherence to the code is the empirical. Proof of fitness, you don't earn this title by declaration, by the recital of credentials. You earn it vital. Breath by breath, decision by decision.
Sophisticated documentation of a life conducted without compromise. Every knife of consequence effaced. I don't correct me, every strife dissolved by the magnificent refusal to react from emotion. The eloquent and inarticulate expressions of authority are identical to show I can understand it. Require rid of everyone beneath you, protect the ones who merit it, remove the ones who don't. Without announcement, without theater, that is the underboss principle.
That is the underboss principle.
It requires no elaboration.
Yeah. Wiz, but I will leave. Will leave.
Here is what I will leave. Not the money moves, not the reputation that arose. The standard, the insistence to work be done right when no one checks, especially when no one checks. The only legacy worth leaving is the standard, still operating. After you're gone, that's it. That's the whole speech.
Who runs this? Who runs this? Who runs this? Who runs this? Who runs this?
Who runs this? Who runs this? Who runs this? Who runs this? Ha. Who runs this? 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 I run this. Who built this? I built this. Who stayed when everyone calculated the odds involved? I stay. Who turned the deficit into a dividend when the institution wrote us off as a bad investment? I did. Not with inherited capital, not with a network reassembled with the arithmetic of showing up. Got the same problem every morning till the problem stopped being bigger than my patience. That's the resume. No addendum need. Who runs this? 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 Who runs this?
They called it an indictment. I called it a Tuesday. The velvet glove always had iron inside.
The velvet glove always had iron inside. Yeah. The document they handed me across the wood panel table in the room with the flag that hadn't moved in 15 years in the seal polish to a mirror in which you could see the version of yourself that had been decided before you sat down. The document was the most expensive fiction I have ever been asked to treat as truth, and I have been asked to treat many expensive fictions as truth.
This one had the most footnotes.
Yeah. The indictment is a document of perspective, not truth. The selective architecture of the directive, issue from the infrastructure, connective tissue of the system. The elective process of what gets prosecuted, corrective power applied with the projective angle of advantage. The reflective surface of justice shows only what the light of power throws. I sat in that courtroom knowing every elder who survived their own velvet treatment had been knowing the temperature of the glove before the hand was showing. The prosecution builds on documentation blew from the selective observation of behavior, strength of explanation. The explanation is the foundation of the truth the system removes. The condemnation in the architecture of the institution precedes the lecture of the charges. Check the sector where the verdicts fall wise with code.
The data is not hidden. It is explained as something else. That is the velvet.
You wanna know what I thought? Sitting in that courtroom, I thought this is working exactly as designed. Not broken, not flawed, not failing design. The velvet is not a malfunction. The velvet is the feature. It is designed to make you feel the weight of the iron. Only after the decision is irreversible. I felt it, I understand it completely now. Understanding it doesn't change it, but it means I will never again mistake the velvet for the glove. The glove is iron, it has always been iron. The velvet is just so you keep your head inside it long enough
for the iron to close.
The velvet embanked me falls on all of us, the halls of the institution and the walls of the block share the identity. Calls to order, political is always personal, dressed in the costume of the general. Both systems run on the identical currency of consequence.
The difference is the velvet. One shows you the iron early. The other makes you feel the texture of the fabric first. Know what room you're in. Know the temperature of the glove. Always. Before you extend the hand. The velvet glove.
Always an iron inside. Yeah. Thursday, the booth in the back. Thursday, the booth in the back. The specific smell of the garlic bread nobody asked for. Marcus cut in this veil wall. Too small, too many cuts. The way hairs move when the decision is already made. And the body is performing a version of not yet. I read his hands before his mouth opened. I knew what was coming. The way you know a storm from the specific quality of silence that precedes it. You said my name, I said I already know. You said since when? I said long enough. That this conversation is a courtesy I don't owe you. I let him finish anyway. Out of what used to be love, that was the last time I felt that in that direction. Yeah. You want the real version, not the version I told the lawyers. The real one. He sold 10 years of my life for a number on a piece of paper that they reduced anyway. You understand that? They reduced it, which means the full price of what he traded wasn't even worth the original offer. He gave him everything for a discount. That's not a betrayal, that's a fire sale. And I have to live in the wreckage of the price. He put on what I thought we were. That number lives in me now. I see it when I close my eyes. It's not big enough. It was never big enough. Nothing would have been big enough. That's the part he didn't understand. And I can't explain to him because we don't speak anymore. We don't speak anymore. The verdict of the code needs no courtroom and no jury. The consequence is surgical, not governed by the fury of emotion, but the fury is available in the story of the night I sat alone with the inventory of everything I built and what it cost me. The promissory notes he signed with his testimony will compound in the permanent mandatory ledger of who he is now. Contradictory math of the sale he made introductory, raped in the real price then forever. The blood is on the ledger, it doesn't wash off ever. He is alive. I know where I have known since the third week. I choose distance, not mercy. Distance, there is a difference. Mercy implies forgiveness. Distance implies I remove the variable from an equation that was producing bad results. The results are better now. The ledger is cleaner. The blood is still there. It dries. It doesn't leave.
Interesting in Cashmere. Like the fabric could say sorry for for everything. The street never gave him time to finish.
The great three-piece to see the smell. The yellow carnation is the pen. Where his heartbeat used to be the creak of the third pew from the left. In the church his mother dragged him to every Sunday for 19 years. The same pew that held him for the last time on a Tuesday without consulting anyone about the change of schedule. The specific weight of a casket that still holds the shape of a man. I know that weight now. I will always know that weight. That weight has a name. The name is Marco. I say it here so the record holds it. Marco was a grinder, finder, reminder of the code. A shoulder holder, boulder on the road. A colder, bolder, older kind of soldier who never sold the principle for comfort. Every folder of memory I carry has a shoulder in the frame, a voice that named the thing before I had the language. A man who showed up was showing up, cost something. That cost is what I carry now. In the space where he was standing.
I wanna tell you how it was the day we put him in the ground in the November rain that nobody checked the forecast for, because grief does not consult the meteorological record before it schedules itself.
I wanna tell you about his mother in the yellow dress he told her once was the color of people who intended to survive. She worked to bury him, and I have not found a language strong enough to hold what that image does to a man who believed he had seen everything.
I keep his photograph above my desk, not for sentiment as request. To myself to meet the standard, no protest. From comfort tolerated, the manifest of what he built in the time compressed between his birth and this. I've pressed his principle into everything I've blessed with effort since. The rest is detail. Marco, rest.
Yellow was the color of people who intended to survive. Everything you built in the dark. The code knew your name. The block kept the ledger. And the ledger never closes.
Yeah. In the architecture of what I built, the silk to discipline between the hilt of ambition and hilt of the actual, the built. Environment of the self, I dealt with the felt weight of the principle, the svelte economy of the oath, the belt of the standard pool, one notch tighter. Every winner, every fighter who came before me was a writer in the margins of the cipher. I read their notes, the lighter moments in the darker, compounded every marker of their sacrifice. I'm sharper for the study, I'm the author now, and what I author is the permanent, written in the concrete, cold and heat resistant. Under every footstep, holding all the weight. The testament is structural, it does not require a signature. It requires only that it holds.
See, I moved through 30 years of building in conditions that the blueprint never accounted for. Weather that arrived without announcement. Partners who dissolved mid-construction. Materials that failed the load test I designed them for.
And I kept building, not because I had no doubt. I had industrial quantities of doubt, but because the alternative was a life conducted in the conditional tense. I should have in the conditional tense. Is the most expensive grammar available to a man. It cost the present to purchase a past that never happened. I refused that transaction.
Pocket catches 4.
I stayed in the present tense. I build in the present tense. I am in the present tense. I am.
Right now, that is the luxury.
Every lesson burned into the architecture of the permanent. Every setback a deposit in the interest of the turbulent. The fit. Every winner was the nourishment. Every loss was the measurement of what the structure to survive. The government itself is the establishment. Understand it. The embellishment comes after the establishment. The testament is not the monument. The testament is the accomplishment of building in the rain. And no random and if come for the acknowledgement that everything worth building costs more than the estimate. And you build it anyway.
Build it anyway.
Build it anyway.
Build it anyway. There is a version version of the story where the man who took the oath at 17 in the snow with no audience and no guarantee and no map beyond the principle itself did not make it to the room he is standing in now, describing what the oath cost and what it paid and what it means to have built something that does not require him to be present. To continue holding its weight, that version of the story is the one that almost happened more than once. And the distance between that version and this one is nothing more and nothing less than the oath. Everything you built in the dark, the cold neon haze, the block kicked the ledger, and the ledger never closes.
She never asked me what I did, she asked me what I dreamed about. That one question took 9 years off my armor before I knew I was unarmed. See, I've been in rooms where men described their power like it was a deed to land. She described mine back to me like it was something I forgotten I was carrying. And I'm not a man who forgets things, but I've forgotten that.
In the penthouse of your silence, I found the only room where you took the armor off and let me see the wound.
She is the cornice of my character, the ornamental detail that the spectacular surface of achievement never captured. The molecular arrangement ruptured by her presence, every fractured version of myself she never subtracted from her patience. She extracted the actual man from the contracted performance of the one I showed the world, the overload of being seen completely, the corrode of the false self. The episode of real intimacy is the erode of everything you built to not need anyone. I needed someone. I need her specifically. Here is what I know. She stayed through the winters I made cold. She stayed when the work consumed the calendar. She stayed when I was difficult in ways I didn't have the vocabulary to apologize for yet. She stayed not from weakness, she stayed from the calculation of a woman who decided the finished version of this man was worth the construction cost. I am still under construction. She knows, she stayed anyway. That is not a small thing, that is the whole thing. I sit at 4 in the morning now, in the kitchen of the life she helped me build, not the one I had before, which was impressive and completely hollow. This one has weight, the kind of weight that holds you to the earth when everything else is trying to make you something you don't recognize. She gave me that, the gravity of belonging to someone real. I didn't know I was floating until I stopped.